Martin Luther King Jr., the man who turned dreams into change, he didn't carry a sword, he didn't shout with anger. He changed the world with words, with love, and with an unshakable dream. His name was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he stood tall, not just for himself, but for millions who couldn't, the boy who wondered why. Martin was born in 1929 in the deeply divided South of the United States, where signs said whites only, and black children like him were told they were not equal. He didn't understand why. Why couldn't he sit at the front of the bus? Why couldn't he drink from the same water fountain as white kids? Why did his best friend stop playing with him? Just because of his skin? His parents taught him, "You are just as good as anyone. Never forget that." A mind full of power, Martin was incredibly smart. He skipped grades and went to college at just 15 years old. But he didn't just want to be intelligent. He wanted to be wise, brave, and helpful, like his hero Mahatma Gandhi, who used nonviolence to free India from British rule. Martin chose his weapon. Not fists, not hate, but hope and peaceful protest. The spark that lit a movement in 1955. A woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Martin was asked to lead a protest, a bus boycott. He said yes. For 381 days, black citizens walked, carpooled, and stood strong. Despite threats, bombs, and arrests, they never backed down, and they won. The buses were finally desegregated. Martin was just 26 years old, and already a leader of a revolution. Marches, jail, and a mountain of hope. Martin marched through cities, gave speeches, and led crowds. He was arrested, he was beaten, but he never struck back. In 1963, in Washington, D.C., he stood before 250,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial and said words that echoed around the world. "I have a dream." He dreamed of a nation where children of all races could play together, where people were judged not by skin, but by character. Nobel Peace Prize, and a nation changing in 1964. Martin won the Nobel Peace Prize, the youngest person at the time to receive it. He helped push for the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, which ended legal segregation and protected black citizens' right to vote. But hatred still burned in many places. The silence. After the shot on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. He was just 39 years old. The world wept, but his voice did not die. A legacy that still marches on today. Streets, schools, and parks bear his name. Every January, America remembers him on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But more importantly, his dream lives on in every act of kindness, every protest for justice, every child who believes the world can be better. Because Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just dream of change. He became the change, with peace in his hands and courage in his heart.